Let's go ahead and bring in Steiner Sports CEO, Brandon Steiner.
One of the country's top memorabilia moguls.
I have an unbelievable guest, Brandon Steiner.
Brandon's second to none.
If you're a basketball fan, you love hoops, stay right where you are because we're going to talk some hoops with a really young influencer, Scher. I mean, the man, obviously Dunk, he's a partner in Dunk, but also has a huge following and also has an amazing amount of content that goes on his, I guess, YouTube platform, Instagram, or
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever content can go, it is.
Dude, you I was going to say you really didn't get dressed for me today, but you kind of did. I'm pissed because I didn't. I mean, everybody knows I collect great T-shirts. Elliot Robinson, if you're out there, me and you are not good. Thank God he's here. He's going to be my go-between now. But I love the shirt and I love the logo. Like, that's cool. And you got to stand up for a second. I just want to see your shorts and it.
Had to bring in
cool.
The NBA shorts, so I did dress up.
And the tell me a little about the sneaks because I'm a little bit of a sneakerhead.
These are all over print Nike Airs.
Those are nice.
Yeah,
there's coming a couple different colors or just this one?
Black, white, and red.
And how many pairs of sneakers do you have, by the way?
A couple.
You could be honest. We're honest on this show.
Around 100.
Okay, that's not too bad. You're not completely out of your mind yet.
It's not terrible.
But you'd like that more.
Yeah, in the thousands someday.
Yeah, it's important. I'm with you.
It's extremely important.
I tried to convince my wife of that. She just didn't.
She wasn't having it?
She's not having it. So I'm down to like about 50 pair now.
Okay.
I had about 150. I've given up 100 pair.
Gotcha.
To kids, charity, and sold some for charity. But I feel like I need it's like my security blanket. I need my sneakers, man.
It's good.
You know what I mean? Need them. What do you like to play in? Do you hoop?
Yeah, I do. Always LeBron 10s, actually. I don't know. It's just something about the support, and for hooping in particular, I like to wear the same shoe over and over and over and over. I can't hoop in a new shoe. There's just
I'm a Kobe
level.
10.
Yeah? Okay, so we've got the
Kobe 10. I got about 8 pair that I'm kind of working on right now. I did buy the last LeBrons, the lows.
Yeah.
Not bad. They were pretty light. Maybe the best LeBrons I'd seen, but I'm a Kobe 10, Kobe 4.
Okay.
I love the Kobe 4s.
Some of the OGs.
Yeah, I love that. And then I'm a Jordan 8, Jordan 11s.
Do you have a favorite shoe of all time?
I love those Jordan 11s, but the Jordan 8 lows, the black, you can't find them. Those are the sneakers I bought for probably almost 15 years, about 12 years in those.
Nice.
Just so comfortable. Your foot goes on vacation when it goes in that sneaker.
Hell yeah.
Love that. So now I'm like something I like my Kobe 10s. The problem is the ones I really like are so expensive. So Dunk.
Yes.
First of all, are you in school? Are you done with school? I mean, you do look a little young. I mean,
I am.
How old?
17.
Are you? So you're just finishing high school,
I just finished high school last week.
But did you finish?
I finished.
And are you going to go to college?
I am not.
Wow, with a smile for now.
For now.
Because what was the dilemma here? Was it continue working on Dunk or?
I hate school personally.
Okay.
School is not for me. In any way, shape, or form, and I've noticed over the last couple of years it's really gotten in the way of everything else I'm doing, and I feel college would be a little bit better since at least I'd get to pick my field and do what I want, but I could do the same exact thing 10x and allocate all of my time and energy and be wherever I need to be 24/7 instead of in a classroom.
Your parents give you a little bit hard time on that, or they're
not too much actually.
They probably don't know what to do with you, man.
They're focused on my younger brother. Yeah. So
now, are you a money maker? And how long have you been making money?
Been making money so I started my first basketball outlet online writing about fantasy basketball when I was 12. So at age 12 I was starting to learn and get a handle of the Facebook algorithm. And then that has since evolved into a bunch of different outlets, and then eventually the creation of Hoops Nation, and that has snowballed into being on every platform and doing consulting and working with NBA players and working for different celebrities and all that kind of stuff.
So you're like a popular dude, though. You got a very strong following on Instagram. It's a good place to boast, but and it's hard for me sometimes for people in the audience to understand what that means. So explain to me what Dunk, why Dunk. Or explain to me Hoop Nation and explain to me the kind of following you have, what it means.
Yeah, so Hoops Nation is kind of what I envisioned as the social media first ESPN covering all levels of basketball. And, everyone says by the fan for the fan, but very few are by the 17-year-old fan, which is who's actually looking at the content. I mean, on dunk.
And you can hoop. 7-year-olds hoop, watch all day.
Everything.
You know,
That's
old people
all
like me,
do.
like we hoop once or twice a week, but
Right,
we still
that's
got to
the
work.
thing.
And you're
But-
living it. You're
but
living it.
It's what everyone wants to be, but just isn't, so can't be. So I can actually do all of this. It's a basketball specific outlet covering all levels of basketball, from a middle schooler getting crossed up to LeBron James dunking on Kevin Durant,
A
whatever.
lot of video highlight stuff on your
A lot of
platform.
video, a lot of memes.
Now, if I had like a great high school video, I send that to you, or
You can send it to me. I might find it organically.
Okay.
But a lot of people do send it to me, and I have people that kind of scavenge the internet looking for those
that's cool.
those 25 retweeted clips, and then contact that person, get the okay, toss it up, and then drop some little funny caption on it, which a lot of outlets can't do.
Because you have a little bit of the freedom to just do what you want.
So much freedom.
You have the total freedom to do what you
I
want.
have
Literally,
1000%
figuratively.
freedom in every capacity, and that's what I care about most.
Well, I think that's what we all care about most. We just don't all get it the
Right,
most.
right.
But as a 7-year-old, that's a rarity because you got parents leaning on you. But you figured out how to make some money. Who's like, you hanging out with any NBA guys that kind of grooving on what you're doing?
A bunch of guys. So I started this, which I had you on, the 60-second show. So through that, and I've gotten
That got you a lot of street credibility having me, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
tons.
If I could dunk, that would have helped, though. But that's not
That
happening in my
would've-
lifetime, man.
yeah.
People always ask me, if you can go to God and ask him for one thing. No, I don't want to be selfish and say,
Yeah.
world peace, feed the hunger,
All of
maybe
that
a cure
out
to
of the way.
cancer, all the obvious stuff. I'd be like, I want to be able to dunk and like control. I want like a couple of years where I go to the school year, nobody can stop me. I need like 2
Couple
years of that.
dominant D1 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want 2 years when nobody can guard me. That would be unbelievable. That's so lame, I feel like. But
Yeah, I
selfishly speaking, I mean, it's just, I love ball and I
I'd be
love
okay
it.
with that too.
You know?
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. That is
crazy.
the views would quadruple, quintuple. If,
So like
if
dunk,
we could both dunk.
So back to dunk for a second. Elliot Robinson,
Yeah.
another like media guru and influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just living every day with basketball. Is that platform just for basically hoop junkies?
Pretty much, yeah. So Dunk and Hoops Nation and the Hoop Films and Kyrie Irving Kicks and all of these accounts under Dunk Media, and under Dunk X Hoops Nation, they're all for a very specific thing. Hoops Nation, which is what I spend my 24 hours a day thinking about and breathing on, in addition to Dunk and the obvious, is just everything. Like everything basketball. Like if I can, 50 posts a day covering everything, from the top rookies to the funniest memes to the best highlights to the middle schooler getting crossed up to, once again, the LeBron James dunk. Everything.
So it's a busy month for you.
Very busy. Very busy.
Did you like the way the draft went? And what are you finding? What's circulating online about the draft and about or is it just a big pensed up what's going to happen after July 1 with the free agency?
Yeah, so every draft comes around and there are the obvious questions. Who's the steal of the draft? And then I make a video on that. Who's going to be the biggest bust? I might make a video about that. There's an MPJ video dropping tomorrow. But, and then July 1st, all the LeBron debates, the Paul George debates, the DeMarcus Cousins debates, whether Kyrie is going to be traded for Porzingis, all the debates. I mean, that's the fun thing is that there are a million different things circulating literally at all times, so there is no shortage of content. And then you have your memes, which covers all of that.
Why? What's up with the women? What's up with the women ballers? Like the women game. What's your take on the women game? College, pro,
Yeah.
WNBA, and why are women not getting more love and respect? Because the game is pretty good.
College, it's amazing. College women's college basketball is amazing.
You watch it,
Occasionally,
so it's not that amazing.
I see the highlights.
Are you highlighting it on your site?
Yeah.
So you are covering it.
If there's a good
No.
highlight,
Are you covering it or not? Are you committed to covering it? Really not. Probably.
not on a day-to-day because of the interest, but just because of the overall interest.
How do you get the interest up? Because it's a good game. The women are balling. I mean, they're playing phenomenally.
I think and a lot of people don't like this, but if they lowered the hoop to 9 feet and they were dunking,
Yeah, I've heard that before, and
I think it would increase the viewership.
it's like just give the people what they want.
Just give the
You
people
are
what
playing
they
with a
want.
smaller ball, like just get into the
It's
dunk.
true. It's true,
Nine
and
for-
a lot of
yeah.
people take offense to that, but they are playing with a smaller ball to begin with, so why not just make everything proportional?
Now, do you have a favorite woman player or two? Anybody who strikes a chord? Are you a UConn fan?
I grew up in Brooklyn. But
I knew there's something I liked about you.
Yeah, I grew up in Dumbo.
I've told the viewers, everybody's growing up in Brooklyn somewhere. It all starts in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Nothing really ever starts without a start in Brooklyn. Like the Greek wedding where everything's Greek.
Yeah.
Everything that got invented was Greek. I'd say anything great that's ever happened started in Brooklyn.
There's been a couple good things.
A lot of basketball in Brooklyn though too.
Yeah, and I'm not one of them.
No.
As far as the Hoopers go,
But how about the women? Just one women player you got?
I'm
going to help you. I'll tell you. I'll take you off the spot on that. Would you give me some love on a woman that we're starting to market and starting to help? Tina Charles, UConn player, won a couple of championships, MVP, plays in USA. She's a baller. She can play.
Sure.
Can you give me some love for her?
done.
She's trying to find a home for defibrillators for every gym around the country.
That's awesome.
To get a defibrillator into every gym and anywhere she can. And I think it's just an incredible move. She's donated her whole salary to buying defibrillators. And the woman's just off the charts.
Best people.
And, being a hoop guy, I go into gyms and stuff. I'm getting older. Like, man, I hope there's a defibrillator there. Okay. You think about that a little bit. You don't want to dwell on it. But I love that her passionate and she is driven for Hopi's Heart. Hopi's Heart is her foundation.
That's awesome.
And I love her determination about it. And she can ball, too. She can play.
I'm more than happy to help.
Yeah. I'm going to take you. Here's what I'm going to do, too. I'm going to take you to a Liberty game, too.
Done.
Because it's going to shock you. A lot of guys, like, they've kind of watched a little bit of it, and they've kind of weaned off of it from, like, 10 years ago. And the game in the last 5-6 years is amazing. Physical. You're right about the dunking, though. But it is physical, and what the girls could do off the dribble and the speed of the game has been pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the question at the end of the day is, like, how can we get more people interested? Because if you, like, I mean, the last time I was at a Liberty game was because there was an event afterwards. There was a celebrity game afterwards that I had to go to. So I got to see the fourth quarter of the Liberty game.
I'm going to take you to a full game. We'll go courtside, which is it's not as big a deal as it sounds, but it'll be cool. So I want you to see it up close and personal. Plus, I want you to meet Tina.
Yeah,
I love her.
More than happy to help.
I'm a big Diana Taurasi fan. Tonight, by the way, if you're not doing anything, don't do anything at the County Center. The Liberty are playing Phoenix. Diana Taurasi's in town. She's getting a little older. And she's like, I mean, Diana to me is Larry Bird. Is a female version of Larry. She could do it all and punish you.
Yeah, I've seen
with a smile.
I've seen some of her highlights circulate, make the rounds, as they say.
So who's the guy that gets the most attention on the men's front? Who do people just can't get enough of or talking about?
So right now, as far as content goes, Donovan Mitchell content performs better than LeBron James content,
Really?
Kobe Bryant content. Right now, if I post a Donovan Mitchell dunk on my page, it will do better than a LeBron dunk, a Kobe dunk, a Michael Jordan dunk, because just all the hype's on him. And Ben, especially since Ben Simmons won Rookie of the Year last night, and the whole Adidas campaign behind Ben Simmons not being a rookie and all the hype there, a Donovan Mitchell highlight will do better than anything else right now.
Ben, we got to find the picture of me and Donovan Mitchell when I was in Utah after the game. Donovan
Smart
Mitchell.
man.
So I'm in. This is this year, and I'm at a game with a bunch of friends. We just happened to be there, and I was with who was I with at the center? He was here. Mark Eaton. I'm with Mark Eaton, so we go down to the locker. Now,
7'4".
Quinn Snyder is, I know from
Yep.
Duke Camp, so I want to really see Quinn. I wasn't even thinking about Donovan Mitchell. And that night, Donovan Mitchell lit it up. He could not be stopped. And in the fourth quarter, he went off. And so I see Donovan Mitchell after the game, and I say, listen, I don't mean to step over bounds, but you look like you're really having a good time. Were you? He goes, man, I had a lot of fun, but it's my teammates. I said, let me ask you a question. If you're struggling, things aren't going as well as they went tonight, would you still have the same attitude, have as much fun, and be as positive? Can you stay that way on the court the way you were tonight? He goes, that's a good point. I like that, man. I'm going to try to remember that. But, he was a...
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough.
But I said, I want you to remember this night. Like, you got to get a night like that etched in your mind so that every night you're striving for that feeling you have and just the overall positive vibe.
Right.
Which I think a lot of times guys, when they get off to a little slow start, a couple of things don't go right, you get into that dark hole.
Yeah, I mean, especially guys that are fighting for their first non-rookie
But
contract.
he was special though, man. You could see that game. He just took over.
Should have been rookie of the year, in my opinion.
I think so too, man. Do you like the MVP vote?
Yeah, for
Was
sure.
it? What was the say on dunk?
So here's what I'll say. I think that every single award, if everything during the regular season is building up to the postseason, but they don't account for how the players actually play in the postseason for any award. None, except for Finals MVP, but that accounts for, in this case, 4 games. Steph Curry had 1 bad game, and then he doesn't get Finals MVP.
They got robbed.
I mean,
He got robbed a little bit.
Kevin
It was
Durant
close.
had 4 great games. Steph Curry had 2 good games, 1 amazing game, and 1 bad game. It is what it is.
It was close. I mean, it's 6 to 1.5 dozen. Those guys have
but
enough hardware.
The fact that we just completely tossed the postseason aside, if the postseason counted, Ben Simmons scored 1 point in a playoff game.
So you're saying the postseason should be included?
Yeah, 1,000%.
I agree. Should there be 2 MVPs, 1 for each? That's the other thing.
No, I don't think so.
So I don't get to watch. Although I'm sad to say I did watch a lot of Harden and Curry because you can't not stay up and watch the West Coast games, right?
The 10:30.
But I think a lot of people don't get to see that as much. And a lot of people make the argument LeBron could have been the MVP.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If the postseason was accounted for, he would be the MVP.
Still
No
played
doubt.
every game. I mean, if it's not for him, his team would probably not even make the playoffs.
Yeah, we saw what happened when he was gone. Lottery
That's
pick.
why I say I think there should be 2 MVPs like in the NFL. You have the two one for one division, one for the
If
other.
you change it now, though, doesn't that
water it down.
decrease the significance?
Yeah. Now, do you do a vote on your site at all, or anything like that, to get a feel, or?
I usually give my opinion, and
Okay.
then
And people weigh in?
and then people weigh in. That's usually how I roll. I do these nightly live streams as well, where I just answer I'll go on for like 20, 30 minutes and answer as many questions as possible, and then people usually just feed off of that. And then in that, actually, so I'll do these 20, 30-minute live streams. I'll answer every single question. In
Every
those
single
live
question is like 200 questions or 1,000 questions, or?
When I say every single question, I mean like 1 out of every 10 questions.
Just because I see Elliot, man, I'd be with Elliot like for an hour or two.
Yeah.
Like, dude, are you even gonna pick your head up?
No, it's impossible. But what I mean by that is, 50 people are going to ask who's the MVP. 50 people are going to ask who's the best player in the world. 50 people are going to ask who's going to win MVP in 5
All right.
years. So in theory, I'm answering every question. I'm not saying each person's name, but I'm pretty much getting to everything. With that, I'm able to get a really good gist of what people are interested in. And what people care about. And then off of that, I will have my next 24 hours, for the most part, of posts and content, because I know exactly what people are interested in. I have my opinion on it because I was able to think it through live on air. And then that's pretty much how I'm able
The hard
to...
part for me when I listen to this kind of conversation is just the common sense must dictate. And it's just so simple. But that's marketing business 101.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's amazing when people can't follow that.
Right.
Just ask your customers what they think, ask them what they want, and then go give it to them. Duh.
Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
It drives me crazy.
That's literally it.
Right?
But then again, the more controversial an opinion is, which is the toughest thing, when I say LeBron's way better than Jordan, it's going to perform way better than if I say Jordan's better than LeBron.
And do you think that?
Yeah, I think LeBron's. But then again, I
So if you were in the park right now, you were picking out sides,
Yeah.
and you had first pick, you're
Prime
taking
MJ.
LeBron over Jordan.
yeah, taking 6'8", bigger, faster, stronger.
Let me tell you what I'm picking.
Yeah, go for it.
And all due respect, I'm taking Magic Johnson over both of them.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't include him in the conversation enough. But to me, I'll take the guy who can legitimately play all 4 spots, legitimately guard the center, not be afraid to. Although LeBron was an amazing rebounder this year, but I like the fact that Magic was a legitimate post player when he needed to be. And
Magic's up there.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it can be the coach. In case I was a little questionable with my own coaching, I got a coach on the floor with Magic.
Right.
Although LeBron, all 3 of those guys are coaching. Who's kidding who? I mean, there was other coaches that were involved, but they were right. What'd you say?
My pick for coach of the year this year was LeBron.
I love that. But we got to tweet that. I love that. That's phenomenal. So people. So that's I love that. I'm stealing that.
That right there is a meme.
I love that.
Just turn that into a meme and post it. And then,
Yeah, we're just running with that right now. It's already posted. We're running.
But that's how the content rolls.
I can't learn enough from you guys, though. I mean, that's the thing. I find it fascinating. Now, do you when I was a kid at 17, I was like an odd kid. People didn't really know what to do with me. It was like, because I frankly, I wouldn't have gone to college either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I did, and I think it's really important, college. Even though
sure.
it's not a natural fit, I struggled like crazy. What I learned in school, the social, the growing up part is critical. But things are different today. Do you find that there's more kids like you, though, and it's more accepted, or are you still a little bit of an odd bird?
I believe in my graduating class of 450 people, I was the only person not to go to college. So it's not it's not super normal. But at the same time, I know dozens and dozens of people who are, oftentimes it's not in basketball, but in whatever field, whatever niche they have, whatever business they're up to, it's the same type of deal. So there are definitely.
We were this close with Elliot Robinson, who's your partner in this. He's like, maybe I do want to go to college, but I think he was looking more at the women. I think he was kind of like, wow, there's a lot of nice girls here. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to study. Syracuse is more than just social at this point. He's like, I like Syracuse. Yeah, me too.
I've thought about when I'm 21 years old going for one semester. That's something that I often think about.
You could. I mean, listen, people don't realize you could go to school and just take a couple credits, see how it feels.
Yeah, and I mean, if your goal is not to get a degree, then it doesn't matter how you perform in the classes.
I'm not sure what the degree actually.
Nothing.
I mean, I'm not sure where that. It's what you learn and what you're able to take away. You go take some classes. If you're able to take away, you keep taking the classes. And the problem is that a lot of people stop learning the day they walk out of school, which is really the real bummer of it all. Like, school is just to teach you how to learn. Actually, I think the learning just starts when you get out of school.
Yeah,
right.
It's a perception thing. Oftentimes, most people miss that though.
Yeah, they think, okay, I've learned everything I need to know. I'm smart enough. Now I'm going to go make a fortune. Like, no, the learning starts now.
Recite Romeo and Juliet. See how far that
You're
takes
now a
you.
professional learner. Right. You're a professional learner now.
Yeah.
You graduated college. Now you understand what it takes to learn and be a good student. Now go out into the world and learn so you can do something. But people, it's amazing how many people are not teachable. They don't feel they need to learn more.
Yeah, and they stick to exactly what is told to them. And what you're saying isn't taught. That you're supposed to organically pick up through experience. But the problem is the majority of people that are, trying, because the end goal for a lot of high schools is to go to an Ivy League school or go to the best school they can possibly get in. The goal is not to realize that, and that doesn't even cross anything. The goal is to get there, and the way that you get there is through grades and tests and studying stuff
where you really know what you can take away.
Instead of whatever your passion is, or trying to find that, which most people don't. I saw a poll for my graduating class. It was 70% of people are undecided for their college major.
Really?
Yeah, 70%.
Wow, that's high. I declare. I mean, I didn't even know I don't know if I can get through college, but I knew that I was gonna.
That
be
just
an
means
accountant.
like no one has any idea what they want to do.
Are you hiring like writers and people to work on Dunk? Like, can people apply?
Mostly editors. For me personally, and for Hoops Nation, editors, and then Dunk soon writers and Hoops Nation as well.
So do you have like a lot of employees, and do you have like a gross revenue? Is it kind of churning that way, or it's evolving to that?
It's evolving to that. Yeah.
So will this be a real moneymaker at some point?
At some point, yeah. So for myself and Elliot too, right now, like what we do is much bigger than just Dunk and Hoops Nation. It's the avenues that it opens. So whether that's consulting on top of it, whether that's working with players directly on their content and promotional stuff. It's Elliot's personal brand. It's my personal brand. It's everything that falls underneath that, as well as helping out with certain events and.
Yeah. Any
stuff.
players you're working with now? Anybody in particular?
Done a lot of stuff for Spencer Dinwiddie on the Nets, who is nominated.
I like his game, man.
Yeah,
he showed a lot down the stretch.
He's a baller, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like him because he's like a sleeper. He could end up being actually a real star.
He was in the G. I thought he should have been most improved player, because the debate, and nothing against Victor Oladipo, and obviously I have
he was really improved too a lot. Yeah, no question.
Victor went from 15 points per game to around 24 points per game. Spencer went from being in the G League to scoring 15 a game. Now, which is more impressive?
I think that's the latter.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But obviously,
and I'm in New York. I've seen him play and take over some games and really not only score a lot but take over games. Which, usually a G League player comes up, he's getting a few minutes.
yeah,
He's not playing a dominant role. He happened to be in the right place too, which helped. But I think he's now a real roster player. He's not going back down there,
I agree.
right?
Yeah.
Good for him, man. I love those stories. Can't get enough of them. So, okay, we got to
best.
close up. How do people get a hold of you? And by the way, we are going to a game. We're going to go to a Liberty game.
We're going to a game.
Tina Charles, baby. If you want to make a donation, you want to get involved, let me know. I'm starting that movement because I like the idea of getting defibrillators into all over the world, frankly.
Genius.
And also just trying to create as much health as you can around people doing exercise and playing ball.
After what happened last year in the G League, you just and that's professional.
Man.
So, you can't even imagine high schoolers and, everyone around the country and the world. So I think that's smart. I want to support.
All right, we'll keep in touch with you on that. I'm going to get Tina maybe to come on your platform with you.
Sure.
That'll be fun because you need to have some equal rights here. Time's up, my man.
Yes.
Time to show some women love here.
I agree, man.
Absolutely. Say hello to Elliot for me. Always great having with you. How do people just best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, my personal Instagram probably at Scher, BUSTASCHER on Instagram.
And if you're the hoop, got to go to Dunk.
Hell yeah, Dunk
No
and Hoops
question.
Nation. Yep.
Great stuff, man. Good luck with everything, man. I want you to keep in touch, and what I love you to do is come back, at the beginning of the season. I want to hear your predictions, how you think this is going to play out after everything's gone down, and then I want to hear about a little more of your entrepreneur, and maybe you and Elliot both come in, and let's talk about how you're going to convert this into really making some real money, and how you have, and what the trials and tribulations, because a lot of people watching the program are sitting with ideas, and they're sitting on their ass, and they're not acting on it, and it drives me crazy. What I love about you is you're taking action. You're not waiting, hoping for a rainy day, or hoping for the sun across the moon. Wah, wah, wah. You're doing it. You're Nike. You're doing it. So I love that, and I want you to come back. I want to hear about the trials and tribulations and how this all comes together.
There have been a lot of them. So.
All right, cool. Thank you, my friend.